Welcome to Be Free Driving School. My name is Wendy, and on this video we'll be looking at zebra crossings. So this is our zebra crossing, and we can recognise it as we come up to it by the black and white stripes painted on the road. Also, we have on these black and white poles, we have these flashing amber lights, which are called Belisha beacons. So that will help us to be able to see the crossing. We may also see this sign, which is telling us that we are approaching a pedestrian crossing of some sort, whether it is a zebra crossing or a traffic light controlled crossing, which we will cover in another video. Now, the danger with zebra crossings is the fact that it's what we call an uncontrolled crossing. So nobody's in control, the pedestrian steps out and hopes and prays that the car is going to stop to let them cross. So the danger with this crossing is that people can just step on. So as a driver, you need to be anticipating and approach the crossing at a speed that you can stop if things change. There's so many different situations when you're driving. I teach my clients to trust nobody and expect the unexpected, and you really have to as a driver. There are situations where, not on this diagram, but you might have just here, you might have a park, and so it's almost like a blind spot. So you can't see in the park. But what you can't see in the park is somebody on their bicycle riding out of the park. And they'll literally ride out of the park straight onto the crossing. I've seen that so many times. So you have to anticipate what people could do and making sure that you're looking around the crossing to get a full picture. There might be a bus stop just up here, so that somebody might just appear from somewhere and run across the road to get across the bus. So we've really got to anticipate and make sure that we see the crossing. So once we've seen the crossing, first thing we're going to do is check our mirrors to see what's behind us. Start braking so that we're sending a signal to the vehicle behind us so they can see that we are slowing down. And then we can start having a look at the crossing. So in this situation, we have this lady waiting. So we're going to make sure that we stop here just before these giveaway lines. It's a good idea for safety reasons to apply your handbrake once you have stopped the car. There has been situations in the past where a driver has rolled onto the crossing, killing people on the crossing because they never had their handbrake on, so their vehicle was not secured. So for a safety point of view, always do put the handbrake on and just let the person cross the road. Now we want to let this lady cross at least 3/4 of the way across the crossing before we move away. Preferably let her cross all the way, but at least here, halfway, she might change her mind, she might drop something, she might step back, but preferably let the person cross the whole crossing. If the crossing looks like this one and has what we call an island refuge in the centre, we treat this as two separate crossings. So once the lady has stepped into the middle here, then you may go as long as it's free. Make sure that you don't wave the pedestrian on and beckon them to cross. The danger of that is, although you think it's safe for them to cross, it might not be. There might be something that you've not seen and it's not even safe for them to cross. There might be an emergency vehicle approaching. There could be so many different scenarios. There could be a motorbike coming up the side of you here who's not seen the pedestrian. There could be someone coming up on the other side here. Maybe this side hasn't even stopped yet. Let people make their own decisions. Do not wave people across. Always check your mirrors before you move away, and also check your blind spots, because I've had situations where somebody has stepped out here, come round me here onto the crossing and just come across and run across the road. So I always will check all the way around before I move away, just to make sure I don't have what I call a lastminute.com person who suddenly appears in my blind spot and wants to cross there, rather than, not everybody's going to cross from here. So as I always say, trust nobody, expect the unexpected. So what should you not do on a zebra crossing? First thing, these zigzag lines, we shouldn't stop on them, park on them, wait on them, drop off passengers, pick up people. Keep that area clear. It keeps the crossing safe. The other thing we mustn't do is to block the crossing. As I said, you're going to stop here. So if you're in heavy traffic, make sure that the car that's over here has left you space before you start moving. So that you know once you start moving, there's definitely a space for you the other side of the crossing to wait in traffic. And that's just about safety. A lot of driving is about common sense. Obviously, if you're sitting on a crossing, it means that pedestrians can't cross safely. The other thing that we shouldn't do, the highway code says that we must not overtake the moving vehicle nearest to the crossing or the vehicle nearest the crossing, which has stopped to give way to pedestrians. So once again, it's common sense. If you can see there's a pedestrian crossing ahead, don't overtake the car in front of you, because the chances are that maybe they're actually slowing down to stop for somebody about to cross. Wait until you've gone past the crossing before you think about overtake. Hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss future videos, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.